Hi. Um, well, so this is. I tried to record this video once before, like a little closer to when this actually happened, but I didn't really like how it came out. I ended up posting it then. I know. Not quite the video I expected to make next. But, I mean, I don't know how well title this video, but yeah, my dad died. So, from when I'm recording this, it's been like a little over 3 weeks now. And man, feels kind of weird. Let me start off by kind of telling what kind of relationship I had with him. We were never really close exactly. Like, I've lived my entire life with my mom. My mom and dad like haven't been together for my entire life. And that hasn't really bothered me ever, because it's like, it's different from when you're like, if your parents are like married and then they get divorced at some point during your childhood or something. Like, I feel like that's a lot more, it can make you a lot more bitter towards one or both of your parents. But for me, like, because it's always been this way, my dad has never really been, or I've like never really been that close to my dad. He's never been super involved with my life. I've never really known how to, miss that. And it's interesting to think that my life really won't change very much from my dad literally dying. Like, that's something that for most people would be quite a significant event in their life, but for me, I'm just like, oh, I guess life goes on then, just almost exactly as it has. Yeah, I mean, even when I heard this, like, I feel like such an asshole for saying this, but I didn't feel sad. My reaction was more like, oh, that's weird. Like, I certainly felt a bit weird about it, but not really sad, no. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like an asshole for saying that, but like, just because he was my dad doesn't, like, I wasn't that attached to him, because we weren't that close. So again, like, feels bad to say, but him dying feels almost like any other, like, person I just kinda knew dying. Like, a person I knew but I wasn't that close to, so like an acquaintance, for example. Like, if you heard that like an acquaintance died, you'd be like, oh, that's unfortunate, like, you know. But you wouldn't like, that wouldn't exactly probably break you down or anything. You may feel a little sad, but like you'd probably move on pretty quickly. So that's kind of situation I had with this. I mean, yeah, I'm really happy to be able to say that I didn't have like anything against him. I know, like I mentioned, a lot of people get very, bitter towards one or both of their parents in like situations of divorce, or just in general, if like one of your parents isn't around, it's very easy to blame either one or both of your parents for it, and I do get that, but I never had that, and I'm like really happy that I can kind of at least have this like semi positive memory that like at least I was never like, I never got bitter or angry at him for him not being involved in my life. Yeah, I mean, it's only in like more recent years when I've like gotten into and more interested in self-improvement and like psychology, I would say, like in general. Like I really like listening to, Jordan Peterson, Dr. K, like people like this who kind of, it's not like listening to some like psychology lecture or anything, but like you can hear like interesting like pieces of information about psychology and stuff while listening to them, and that's gotten me a bit more interested in that, and like especially like child developmental psychology and stuff. Like I find that very interesting, and it's only in more recent years because of that I've sort of realized the like somewhat negative effects of not having like a masculine role model in my life. And yeah, I mean, do I wish I'd had that? Yes, I feel like I've had a lot of problems in my life that could have either been prevented or at least would not have been nearly as significant had I had a prominent masculine, father figure in life. But even then, I mean, I just can't bring myself to feel any sort of, bitterness or resentment towards him, and I'm actually kind of happy about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'm trying to say with this video. It's just since I kind of decided I would be fairly open about my life on this channel. I mean, this felt like a significant enough thing to make a video on, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'd like to mention that I have like some good memories of my father, both from like early childhood and some like later years as well, but really not that many, unsurprisingly. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, like when someone isn't, and specifically has never really been very involved in your life, you just don't know how to miss them, even if if they pass on. Like it's certainly interesting. And in case anybody is even slightly interested, like what my dad died from, it's not known exactly, but it was heart related, and like he was fairly old. Like he died at the age of 68, so you know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was 47 when I was born, so so you know, at least he lived a long life, or reasonably long life. I mean, shorter than the average, but still, I mean, 68 ain't that bad. um, yeah, in case you were expecting a very, you know, a very sad video where I'm like crying and stuff. Not this time, no. All right, I mean, I think that definitely is time to wrap this up. I don't know, man. It's weird because I guess I'm not wrapping this up. It's weird because I don't even know what to say. That's how little I feel like I knew him in the end. Oh, feels sad to say that like my like biggest compliment in a sense is that I have nothing against him. Again, it feels like such a like feels like such an asshole thing to say about your dad that just like died a little while ago. But what are you gonna do? I mean, I'm not gonna start lying just because I don't like the truth. Well, whatever. All right. See you.